a Playlyst original.
Welcome to the Pilot Podcast,
where we review the pilot episodes of TV shows to answer your question, should I watch this?
My name is Mitu.
And my name is BJ.
And this week, we're watching Dr. Odyssey on ABC.
So stay tuned to find out who Mitu thinks is the most attractive cast member on this show.
Ooh, that's tough. There are some hotties in this cast.
We got a lot to choose from.
Okay. Until then, I can tell you what happened in this show. Joshua Jackson is Dr. Max Bankman, the new lead doctor for the luxury Odyssey cruise ship, captained by Robert Massey, played by Don Johnson, and supported by nurse practitioner Avery, played by Philippa Sue, and nurse Tristan, played by Sean Teal.
So, Mitu, at the very top of this episode, the captain lets us know a new doctor is coming on the ship. He runs through the resume. This guy's been head of hospitals, went to Ivy League schools, just volunteered around the world to help the poor and hungry. Did you think that was a little odd for a cruise ship doctor?
Yes. I mean, Avery said that, with all due respect, I believe is the language she used, which no respect usually is due when you say something like that, that he is overqualified for the gig. I did think it was weird, though, that the captain said that he volunteered in West Africa, but then the second Max showed up, he talked about something he did in Tanzania, which is decidedly on the other side of the continent.
Maybe they'll patch that continuity issue in a further episode.
I mean, I don't think it's that serious, but I was like, huh? West Africa?
All you had to do was say Africa and you could have nailed it.
Yeah, they could have gotten away with it. I was very intrigued by why the doctor was there, why this person who was head of pediatrics or was on the pediatric board, I believe, at Johns Hopkins, like you said, global volunteer, Nobel something award winner, all of this stuff. And then now he is a cruise ship doctor, a very fancy cruise ship, but still a doctor on a cruise ship versus like, I don't know, the head of something or other at another fancy school or hospital.
Exactly. This is someone who really can pick whatever job they want in the medical field. They're that experienced and qualified. So I was very suspicious when Max chose a cruise ship. I was like, is he running away from something? Did something bad happen at his last job? And we do get some answers, and it's not what I expected.
I was a little unsatisfied with the reasoning that they gave. I think it could have been much more intriguing if he were running from something or to something. But I think with the reasoning that they gave, it might explain part of why he's there, but it's still strange. And he still makes strange decisions, which I do find interesting because at least then we have more to discover about him throughout the show. I think part of my frustration with the reasoning they gave for why he was there, it almost felt open and shut. Like, oh, that's why he's here. But if you give something away like that, then we don't have more to look forward to. So I'm glad they at least made him weird.
He is weird, and it's that balance of he's the weird guy. We see him having to learn how to practice medicine on a ship, but also he is probably always going to be right about a lot of things. Like, he breaks the rules because he has to save lives and takes those risks, because if he doesn't, these passengers are gone.
Truly, we watched like 3 people, I think, almost die in this one. They packed it in.
Some repeats as well.
Yeah, that's true. He also didn't waste any time getting into drama with his other 2 medical staff. And what blew my mind there is he has this revealing conversation with Tristan and then does something that Tristan doesn't like pretty immediately after. He has this weird dynamic with Avery. And I just kept writing in my notes, there's 3 people? There's 3 people like doing all this mess. What happens if something breaks down between the 3 of you? There's only 3 of you. Or there was a shot where they were all at a party and taking shots. And I was like, okay, what if somebody gets sick right now? It's 3 of you.
I was also shocked by how small their medical team was for a seemingly large cruise ship.
Yeah.
And I didn't like Max's choices with these relationships. he comes in thinking he's the big dog, a little bit bossy. Avery lets him know, like, look, you're disrespecting me. You're disrespecting Tristan. We are experienced. We know what we're doing. And so when Tristan opened up to him and he turns around and is like, I don't care. Essentially, he doesn't say that, but his behavior does.
Yes.
It made me not a fan of Dr. Max.
I agree. Dr. Max is going to have to win favor with me.
Can he, though? Because his behavior suggests he's in it for himself.
Yes. Maybe that's the growth we'll see, that he's had these experiences that we won't spoil, but lead him to go to this cruise ship. And it seems like he's really centering his own needs for his own reasons. But will we see that develop where he learns that he has to eventually look past his own immediate needs and desires?
Maybe. And maybe cruise life will do that. We see more of cruise culture. We learn that people who work on cruise ships in this show work like a captain, play like a pirate. So that might influence his view on life.
I think a cruise is such a fun format for a procedural. It creates the stage for weird illnesses, of which we saw quite a few in this first episode, that were so specifically cruisy. And then the cruise culture itself, to your point of that being its own distinctive character, at one point, the captain tells Max Bankman that the crew will sometimes even rub suntan lotion or sunscreen on the guests because, quote, out here, there are no sunburns, because they just want it to be as close to heaven as possible for their experience. The captain even calls the staff of the cruise ship guardian angels. And so you have these people where some of them are maybe Richie Riches, maybe entitled. And then you have other folks the captain talks about where they've probably been saving for a long time for this once-of-a-lifetime experience. And either way, you have to shepherd them into a really wonderful time.
Yeah, that was so interesting to see. It even extends into the medical situations, because after some of the patients are treated, we see Avery bring in that hospitality aspect and give like little bits of advice or suggestions on fun things for people to do now that they're recovered. And I don't think Max thinks like that yet.
Yeah, there was a very specifically wild case where a patient had a penile fracture, but it was his honeymoon. And so he was like, Dr. Max, can I get back in there? Can I do my thing with my wife? And he was like, sorry, buddy, not for 4 to 6 weeks. And they're so sad. And to your point, then Avery was like, actually, there is this, I think she said, tantric therapist or something who you can go to enhance your experience, and you don't actually have to do what you wanted, but you can still be happy. And they seemed so happy at the end of the cruise. And it was such an example, to your point, of treating the medical issue, but then also still bringing in the guardian angel aspect, the ushering them into a beautiful experience, no matter what they do to themselves or each other.
And that case is what starts some, I feel like, inappropriate flirting between a boss and their subordinate, because we also learn Max has had a penile fracture.
I forgot about that. I guess it's sort of an
and people
epidemic.
ask questions.
That's true.
What did you think of the other cases? We had someone who ate shrimp so fast they got iodine poisoning.
Blew my mind.
And someone who, I think, broke their clavicle, which then made it so they couldn't breathe. It was like compressing their lungs or something.
I loved the cases that they picked out because I've never been on a cruise, but the concept of cruises fascinate me because it's people who are eating and drinking in excess, which you do on vacation, or you can do, I should say, but trapped together on a boat, which sounds intense. Obviously, giant boat, lots of amenities. You're not trapped. You're choosing to buy yourself.
Yeah, it's like a resort hotel on the water.
Yes, but the on the water part is what blows me because you have all of the risks of people running around a hotel, drunk and full of food or eating shrimp really, really fast, but then you're isolated on water. So you're not always near somewhere where you can dock and bring someone to a hospital. And there are unique issues that come up, such as clavicle injuries from water slides, that just make these cases so fun because of the cruise of it all.
And we learn they're not supposed to perform surgery on the water, so they have to be a little creative when they're like 6 hours from port.
Something tells me they're just going to be constantly performing surgery.
Every episode, they will find a reason to cut someone open.
It's like on medical shows where they always have someone choking and then they always cut that one part at the base of their neck to let the air in. They did it in this episode.
I hate that.
They do it all the time. They did it in Royal Pains in the pilot. Like, it's just such a classic medical procedural thing.
And I've never heard of anyone have that happen to them in real life.
I saw someone choking in real life at a restaurant, and then someone just gave them the Heimlich. You don't have to cut people open.
They didn't have to call like the exclusive high-class doctor to come get a pin, poke a hole in their throat, and then we all say, let's pray that they survive.
No, they just like grabbed him by the belly, whacked their back really good, and then whatever it was came out.
Wow, that must be a rare case, what you saw.
Yeah, absolutely. 1 in a million.
Yeah. 1 in a billion. Yeah. Like, wow.
Yeah, just like a couple people on Earth.
You witnessed something few people will ever see.
In many lifetimes. The other thing that they did on this show that I liked is the closing line kind of set up something fun where they hinted there might be themed episodes, themed excursions, because the cruise ship itself can be themed. You can have singles week or honeymoon week or this week or that week. And so that can also bring some interesting adventures.
I wonder if this is one of those ships that doesn't allow people under 18 or under 21.
Ooh, that presents some fun.
Yeah, it seems very high class. Not that children can't be, but it feels like
your one-sided beef with children will never not be funny to me. You don't want them on your TV screen, which I kind of don't either. I don't believe in child actors, but
I'm saying they can be high class. I am also saying some cruise ships purposefully exclude them for that adult-only experience. Anyway, I too am curious what themes they will have in future episodes.
With that, do you want to watch more episodes of Dr. Odyssey on ABC?
Maybe. I think I'll watch again casually, pick up a few more episodes here and there, not weekly, just to see how they mix up the cases each week. How do you feel?
I think this is really fun. I think if you are into procedurals, especially medical procedurals, you'll enjoy this one. The cruise setting just makes it fun. It's like Love Boat meets New Amsterdam. And I think this is one that I will enjoy watching like with dinner or something where you're looking for a show to watch. Actually, I take that back. Maybe not with dinner. Maybe while folding laundry. I say that because I don't think I want to eat and then maybe something gross happens. So let's be careful about that.
You got your warning here. Okay, me too. We have seen the pilot. We've talked through our main cast. Who do you think, for you, is the most attractive?
Okay. I think Tristan is the most suave and attractive.
Okay.
But I just think Don Johnson has such a great head of hair.
Oh, okay. I was worried you would choose Max.
Worried? I mean, Joshua Jackson is a very handsome man, but
I don't like the character.
Oh, that's true. Maybe that's why I didn't mention him as well. I'm just literally annoyed by him.
Yeah. Okay. Tristan or the captain. Solid picks.
Thank you.
Well, if you want to hear about more things that Me Too picks in different episodes of shows, head to our website at thepilotpodcast.com. And you can follow us on all of your favorite podcast platforms.
You can also follow us on social media at The Pilot Pod. And you can send thoughts, feelings, show recommendations, because every other week, just like this one, we do a show recommended by you, our wonderful listeners. Thanks for listening.
Bye.